Fireworks, GT Radial, Nissan 370Z, and Jeff Jones. Frederick Aasbo initiates high on the bank. There he goes, see him tapping there, but look at Jeff Jones! Like I said, you can't count anybody out. He is the self-sleeper coming down, like we called him. Brian Saves Demon, the relentless one, and he is absolutely delivering just as he falls back. Frederick Aasbo, the Type S lights are flashing. It's a disco underneath this car, and the party is on track.
That was an exciting run, Jared. Nah. Jeff Jones dove right into the side of Aasbo in initiation and stuck with him through outside zone 1. Slightly lower line, though, so let's watch Jeff Jones here. You can see his line a little bit lower, but he did a great job on proximity. Right there, he's a little bit ahead of Aasbo, and this is where Jeff Jones makes his error. As he transitions here, he goes a little too far inside, and tries to back his car up around that inside clip a little bit, and when he does that, Aasbo's able to pull away. But you can see Jeff is on the same line behind him, maybe about 3 or 4 car lengths back, but he's not making compromises. I was going to use the word cheating. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
Making a compromise around outside zone 2.
Yeah, compromise, take an angle, get that proximity versus just kind of keeping that angle and keeping the distance back.
Yeah.
Compromise. Cheat. Hold the line. All right, Jeff Jones now on front. So look, oh my gosh, smoke is filling the Coliseum. That is OSW. Jeff Jones with that Scandinavian slick into the zone. Little working his way higher, but Frederick Aasbo slams down some sparks being thrown. That gold nose has gotten Aasbo in trouble before, but not today. Jeff Jones riding that line. The GT Radial being burnt up. The Norwegian Hammer pins it to potentially wins it. So overall, a good run, and Smokey, yes. Yes.
That certainly was Smokey.
This is what we're looking for.
So outside zone 1, I think Jeff Jones was slightly lower than Aasbo. Aasbo, when he was in his lead, was really high on zone 1, but watch Jeff Jones here as he gets the car to angle. He doesn't quite get up to outside zone 1 to the wall. So he's a little bit lower, tire almost down by those white marks, which isn't ideal in the lead position. That's not where you want to be. On the transition there, you see that Aasbo times his transition really well behind Jeff Jones, mimics what he's doing. Aasbo doesn't get super close until the very end here, but he's definitely within striking distance the entire time.
Great shot there. Thank you to our drone pilot. Man, really good shot. And Jeff, you see him, like you say, working it up, working it up. Quick little correction. Looked like he was potentially going to be a little more right than that. And watch Aasbo.
Yeah, he reeled him in on that last zone.
Yeah, just a bit of a magnet, give himself some room. Scores are coming in, verdicts are coming in. The Royal Purple synthetic oil, the official lubricant of Formula Drift, and Frederick Aasbo gets the win. A great effort from the Evo, for lack of a better term, aggressively in prior rounds. All right, Kazuya Taguchi, no coats in. Taguchi initiates. Look at Essa. Look, I mean, just identical initiation. Good angle from Kazuya Taguchi. Look at Taguchi. Blast that inside clip just barely. Past that second inside clip. Kazuya Taguchi puts it right on the line. Pulls off a little bit. Man, Taguchi with that VR-powered 86.
That 86 is fast.
Ripping.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right, so an initiation here. Taguchi gets the angle nicely. Essa's right there with him. Taguchi's pretty close to that wall. You can see Essa's got a few bobbles in the chase position there, mimicking almost perfectly the angle. Taguchi hits that inside clip, number 1. Good on 2. Essa's right there, but starts to fall back a little bit in the latter half of this run. Taguchi does a great job on outside zone number 2, and Essa's right there, a couple car lengths back, but mimicking the line and the angle pretty well.
And here it comes, the second run of Michael Essa and Taguchi. And the lights on, extinguished. Michael Essa can leave. Let's see if we get a clean start, and we do. Oh, nope. No, we don't. Psych. Cone was hit. Way back there on the start. So maybe just stagger up a little bit. It seems like when he left the line, it kicks down because it's on that bank. We see that. We used to see that at Wall, New Jersey so much. Just really leave the line there, and then they almost dropped to like 15 degrees below. You almost need to start 15 degrees above to get you going straight.
Yeah, it was a tricky one with the steep banking. You could almost not drive away with one of these drift cars without it spinning the tires enough that it dropped it down like that.
Fans there on the far side of the track, right there at the start. Not a bad seat in the house here at Orlando Speed World. Again, we've seen all the seasons here. Although we haven't seen a snow, but it's definitely going to rain some smoke. Oh, Taguchi with a late entry. A late initiation from Taguchi with such a strong lead run. Oh, boy. Holy cow.
That was close.
That could have been a Michael Essa T-bone sandwich. Wow.
I wonder what happened to Taguchi on the run-up to initiation. It almost looked like maybe it was another misshift situation. He had to get it in gear, and then he got on throttle and clutch kicked and got it to angle.
Yeah.
It looked like there was a hesitation from him there. You know, despite the actual lateness, there was a hesitation in the acceleration, it seemed like. So let's watch this replay. So let's watch the run up here. See right there?
Pop. See the pop?
Definitely, that was some high revs, and that means that the engine was revving freely there, and it looked like maybe it was a misshift in that situation. And then Kazuya tried to make it up, and right through the smoke here. So let's watch it again. Pop. Yep. So that's definitely a mistake from Taguchi in the chase position. Mike Essa in the lead. He's doing his job. High on zone 1, coming by inside clip 1 here, and then watch Taguchi right here go straight, and that was very close, but it'll be an incomplete from Taguchi as he incompleted there, straightened up, and I think that'll be an easy win for Mike Essa due to the error from Taguchi.
So let's get the verdict here. Moving on to the Grade 8 is Michael Essa and the FCP Euro Liqui Bilstein GT Radial BMW. Essa moves on. 2 drivers in the Grade 8. Series Gear Wrench, Mark IV Super GT Radials, both these guys on GT Radials. Little stutter step there from Burkett and Forsberg. Swing across the nose from Dan Burkett. And here comes Forsberg talking about that horsepower he's got on deck. Will it show up here, coming down into that first inner clip. Chris Forsberg brings it across its second inside clip. Dan Burkett almost into that crease. So Dan Burkett coming a bit short here. A great run from Dan Burkett out front. Let's take a look at that again.
Let's look at that again. Nice initiation from Burkett. Forsberg's right there behind him. Burkett does get into the wall a little bit of a bobble there from him as he rubs that bumper on the wall in the chase position. Watch Forsberg there drop a tire on the inside, but this does make it around that inside clip number 2 without making contact. Burkett just slightly off of that line. Forsberg just a little bit further inside there than Burkett was, but great lead run from Burkett overall. A couple of little bobbles here and there, but Forsberg's going to have to take what Burkett just did and clean it up a little bit. You know, get on the wall, but don't hit it enough that it makes your car lose angle the way that Burkett's did slightly there, and fill outside zone 2 with your tire right in the groove all the way around.
All right, let's see them alternate orders. And we are seeing Forsberg out front in his NOS energy drink. All new Nissan Z on GT Radials on the corner. Both these guys on GT Radials. Forsberg notably getting second at our previous round of competition. Currently sits 5th in points. Wants to continue that success. He's going to need to throw down here. Big initiation from him. Dan Burkett gets right to the side of him. Has to fall back as Forsberg continues on in pace. Again, that soft suspension absorbs it. Now going into that second inside clip and that final second outer zone. Burkett bathing in the GT Radial smoke. Burkett keeps his prowess though. Again, he was just soaking. Got a smoke bath.
That was a lot of smoke, Jared.
Yeah.
All right, looking at Forsberg's initiation, gets the angle nicely there. And then he's on the brakes a little bit through that early area. You can see that Burkett sort of corrected a little bit behind him. And then coming through the infield, Forsberg does a good job there through inside clip 1 and 2. Burkett's right there on the same line, just a few car lengths, a couple car lengths back from Forsberg.
All right, waiting for the verdict here. Good. Taking a look over the pit area. Look at that. Paddock filled with so many hopes and dreams and horsepower. Aspirations of greatness here at round 3. The Type S lights are on. And Daniel Stuke was talking about the Type S lights. And there they are. They are lit up. Reviewing the tail of the tape. Dan Burkett, Chris Forsberg. Let's slide them left for Forsberg, right for Burkett, and it looks like Chris Forsberg gets the win. Forsberg gets the win and advances on. Your brain is like a lockbox. Here we go, Daniel Stuke and Yves Meyer. Yves Meyer qualified 21st, Daniel Stuke qualified 28th, so Yves Meyer will lead in that Toyota Gazoo Racing Switzerland 86. Nice job by Yves Meyer so far. Oh, and another, oh man. It came out, and admittedly, Stuke, he doesn't need to complete. I mean, that was an incomplete.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake
that was Yves
from
Meyer.
Yves Meyer.
So Yves Meyer, I don't know what went wrong going to that second. Going over the jump into inside clip 2, just got out of shape and straightened out.
Yeah, it could have been a front end grip issue where the front push. Let's watch the replay and see if we can dissect it. Looking at outside zone 1, Yves did an okay job there. He looked a little low early on, but worked it up. Stuke is right there with him. Transition right here, over the jump. Car straightened up, went fairly straight there, and Stuke avoided contact with him. So in that situation, it looks like it's being incomplete for Yves Meyer in the lead.
Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah, okay, we're getting, somebody had a good catch here. It looked like Stuke straightened in the chase position on his own before Yves Meyer made his mistake. So we'll have to watch that again. Good eye from Chris the judge over here, caught that for us. And now let's watch the second run of this battle.
Wow, Yves Meyer really flirting with the back end of Daniel Stuke's M-Spec vehicle, but Yves Meyer knows he needs to throw down. He's pushing it. Oh, pushes him right into the side.
Literally
and the back. So Stuke stays in it. Yo, he said he's down to party. Slammed in mosh pit here on that center track. Wow.
That was a good hit.
Yeah.
The taillight's dangling. There's a big dent in the rear quarter.
It'll buff out. Man, that was a. I think Yves knew what he needed to do. He needed aggressive line. He straightened out. He might not have known that Stuke straightened out.
He might not have. So looking at what we see right here, coming off the bank, right as they. Yeah, he just got a little too aggressive. Transitioned early and drove into the back of Stuke, it looks like. Parts flying everywhere. A bit of a yard sale in that area. So I do want to watch the first run again to see what happened in that scenario.
Yeah, it seemed that Yves impeded on the transition, but
yeah,
he would have been too close. Daniel couldn't transition, but Yves actually just transitioned before him.
Yeah.
And just went to the back right corner. So Yves left front, and here is...
Yeah, here's the run again.
No, yeah,
this is
so
still the
run
second
again.
run, yeah. As they're coming around outside zone number 1, you see Yves Meyer nice and close, but right here he gets a little too close. Makes contact with Stuke at inside clip number 1. All right, here we go with the first run of the battle. See Yves Meyer in lead position. So what we're looking for here is Stuke in the chase. We're told that he's straight independently in the chase. Oh yeah, he was completely straight right there. So that'll be an incomplete for both drivers as they were individual incompletes. I think Chris is watching the replay over there on the other screen, so should be good to go now. Get our scores in, or our decisions, I should say. We're not scoring anything right now.
Yeah.
Decisions.
The decisions in, and we will revisit the Forsberg Burkett battle here in the Royal Purple Top 16. And Daniel Stuke gets the win. Daniel Stuke gets the win. Meyer hitting him from the side. So, Ryan Lantain, let's go back and revisit Forsberg and Burkett. What were the stand-up moments for you? Tuerck light up the track for Larry Chen. And this battle of Chelsea Denofa, the Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D, and Ryan Tuerck and that Rematch Toyota GR Corolla. Chelsea Denofa behind the bank. Look at Ryan Tuerck working his way up the bank. And now, get all up in that middle tire smoke, slamming down that first inside clip, bouncing off into the second inside clip. Chelsea Denofa pulling away from the Long Beach winner. Chelsea Denofa right in the crease, coming all the way across. Ryan Tuerck having a hard time keeping with this unwound Mustang RTR Spec 5D.
Yeah, Jared, it seems like Ryan Tuerck got himself positioned in the wrong spot in the infield just before the transition, and it looks like it choked him up and he fell back at that point. But looking at outside zone 1, Chelsea's right on the wall. Tuerck is right on the wall behind him as they come down into the infield. Look at where Ryan Tuerck is right here. You can see him over-rotate as Chelsea has already started to rotate, and that's where Ryan Tuerck falls back and is not able to keep proximity with him around outside zone number 2.
Look at the senior moment here in a good way. I'd say it means seniority because they're both watching the replay. What went wrong? The fire out the back of that Ford Mustang and then into that last outside zone. I gotta think that and we're finding out.
Do we have a DB, Jared?
I think a tire might have gotten DB'd.
Sounds like Tuerck DB'd.
Oh no, that's not the way you want to go out. And if he DB'ds, you're not allowed to reseat your tire. That would be basically a failure of not the equipment, but you need tires mounted.
Yep. Coming off the bank here can be brutal if you come down at the wrong angle in the wrong spot.
And that, sorry to cut you off, that explains why he couldn't keep up.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that also explains why he got so choked up behind Chelsea there in the wrong spot. Because if that came off, the grip would not be there in the left rear. And that could have affected his rotation, his transition. And like you say, not able to put the power down with a DB'd tire.
So is that official? The tire's DB'd, he is retired? And let's take a look here at the replay. When did the tire come off of the wheel?
Really hard to tell there.
See Chelsea, can't see it.
Look at the tire.
See one?
See the tire coming off the wheel?
Yeah, that back left.
Yeah, right there.
And sometimes it reseats. Like we've had drivers reseat, but unfortunately, was it the jump or was it the impact going from the bank?
Yeah, I think it's already
you see it
undone right there. And then as he,
yeah, it seems like the jump accentuates. You see, it just hits off of the rim, off of the lip of the wheel. So there it is, and that big old Nitto tire meat hook. So that means that, unfortunately for Ryan Tuerck, he has to retire. You are not allowed to replace your tires, your equipment, and your tires need to stay together. So unable to call a competition timeout on a tire debeating. So that means Chelsea Denofa, this is essentially a bye run for him.
That is correct. And if I know Chelsea Denofa,
he won't relax.
This will not be a simple, boring run.
No. It's a bit of a demo run for him.
Yes.
This is him working it out. So with this run, Chelsea Denofa will advance on into the Grade 8, the Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D. He's turned a lot of tires here at OSW as well. He loses a bumper by himself. That's how much he shaves bumpers off.
Well, Chelsea did not disappoint on that bye run.
And you called it, Ryan. Absolutely called it. But again, the dude's bumper budget, he just loses a bumper every time, even when he's running by himself. It's just what I'm saying. I think they're stunt bumpers. 3 more battles left, and what an unfortunate turn of events for Ryan Tuerck.
Yeah,
I mean,
disappointing for the team, disappointing for him. It's got to be somewhat crushing to lose in that way. He didn't even get to run his second run of battle. And, you know, he didn't get to lead. He chased, and then that was it.
Getting that bird's eye view of that smoky buy/demo run of Chelsea Denofa and his Pennzoil RTR Spec 5D. Oh, he hit that. He hit that. The cone indicator of the zone. Yeah, the zone marker. Thank you. Seeing the Type S lights glow underneath our two competitors. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. A lot of drifting comp still left.
This should be an interesting one, Jared. Dean Kearney and Matt Field. They're both sitting there.
Oh, man.
Oh, they had to get the bumper out of the way. Okay. I was wondering why they were staring at each other about the start.
It was a duel.
Yeah.
It was a duel.
Was it jousting, or which one would they do?
Yeah, jousting. Like medieval
driving
times.
into each other.
Yeah, like on horses.
Yeah. With the
give me a Tuerck. Wave glasses. Looking cool. And the HyperNT, one big sponsor. HyperNT.io. Matt Field initiates Dean Kearney's car. Let's see it. Look at him. Goes right to the side. That black shadow of a Dodge Viper. A little bit lower on the bank for Dean Kearney. Past that inside clip. Dean just barely nudges it over. Past the second inside clip. Shreds it till he jets it. And those Nexus tires keeping up with the Falcons.
That Viper was hungry at 8 outside zone now. Sorry, inside clip number 2.
Just burning that logo off the side on both sides now.
Yeah, Dean got pretty aggressive on inside clip number 2. Dean didn't time his start very well here. I would have expected him to be closer. You can see he had to sacrifice angle as he comes around outside zone 1. Matt Field in the lead is doing exactly what he needs to do. Look where he is there, tight on inside clip 1. Right here, you can see Dean Kearney hit that with the front right of his car. So that's not ideal. Probably dropped 2 tires there. Matt Field just putting his car everywhere he needs to, all the way around the track. And there's a nice little bump past the finish line there.
I don't know if that's nothing nice about that. It's a
no,
real bummer.
definitely not. So let's watch this bump again. Right there.
Doink. That's why I said he had the other side and already has some contact, but who's at fault there? Man, Matt has taken quite a few lashings already this year. If you can recall, back it up. How I mean, he's gone on the box two rounds now, though.
Yep.
So I mean, if you look at it, I mean, he rebuilt his car, got married in a week, and then put it back on the box in Atlanta in third. So he's definitely out for it.
Yeah, he did a full pirouette on the wall in Long Beach. That was a pretty. It looked pretty, pretty disastrous at the time. Probably took a little while to fix that car, and then even in Atlanta, he had a couple of hits where there was, there were body parts flying off. I think he did a run with no fender at one point, no bumper. So that car has definitely been through a lot this year so far, and we're only on round 3.
Looks like because of that contact right there at the finish line, Matt Field is allowed to get hands on the car. So if Dean wants to touch his car, he has to call a competition timeout. Dean was at fault going across the finish line. He went to the back end of Matt Field. He straightened it out, but Dean was a little too aggressive. So again, Matt Field can put hands on his car without utilizing his NGK competition timeout. Dean, if he wants to inspect his car, he will need to use that competition timeout.
Yeah, and this is a smart play from Matt Field. He got hit with no fault of his own past the finish line, and if there happens to be something damaged on his car and he says, it's fine, I'm going to go run the car, then that could be potentially disastrous for him if there is something tweaked in the rear end of that car. So he has the opportunity here. It doesn't cost him a thing. He's not calling a competition timeout to look at his car, and he will have a few minutes here to look at it, and I don't think it'll take too long. As long as there's no damage, it should just be a quick look over and get back out on the track.
Motorsports, Link, ECU, GT Radial, and then you got the Comcams GT Radial Corvette. Taylor Hull said he's excited, and now he's got to go against Travis Reeder. 2 V8 rides as Reeder. Big angle from Reeder at the tail end of that outside zone 1. Now pass a little buck, passing over that jump in the second outside zone. Reeder powers through the finish line, and Taylor Hull does the same. No major mistakes from either driver outside of, I would just say, just that consistent gap all the way through. I mean, it seemed like, you know, hit some clips, just kind of nudged them over. Let's take a look.
Yeah, nice initiation. Maybe a little bit of hesitation on initiation from Reeder, but right there with him is Taylor Hull. Good job on outside zone 1 from both drivers. Taylor Hull's got that consistent gap, like you said, coming through inside clip 2. Can't really see much of the smoke there, but you can see that Travis Reeder's running, I think, out to the outside line there, and you've got Taylor Hull. Consistent gap again, but I think he was mimicking what Reeder was doing pretty well in the chase position.
Taylor Hull now leading. Travis Reeder giving chase. Here comes Taylor Hull. And here comes Reeder. And look at Taylor Hull. Oh, Reeder. You see him gaining ground. If they touch tires, it could be disastrous. Into that first inside zone, Taylor knocks it over. Reeder, now he falls back. Coming that second outside zone. Right there in the crease. Just barely going over that line was Taylor Hull.
These are 2 fast laps, Jared.
Yeah, man.
Smoky and fast.
Yeah, looking at his burnout comps.
Uh-oh, do we have a fire out there, boys?
I think just taking a look. Yeah.
All right, let's look at the replay. As Taylor Hull gets the angle, Travis Reeder is right there with him. Definitely closer around outside zone 1 is Travis Reeder to Taylor Hull. Coming through the infield here, you can see that right there, Travis Reeder falls off a little bit. Taylor Hull hits inside clip number 2. And as they go around outside zone number 2, Travis Reeder's on a slightly inside line compared to what Taylor Hull's doing, as Taylor Hull has his right rear right in the groove all the way around. So you can see there, Travis Reeder, sorry, is a little bit inside. And we have a side-by-side coming up. Always helpful.
Side-by-side is a coming.
All right, so try to watch all of this at once here. Cross your eyes and pray you can watch it all. You can see there that Reeder is closer around outside zone 1. I think the lead runs are pretty similar through that area as they drop down into the infield here. Looks like both lead drivers are hitting the inside clips pretty consistently, so that's pretty even. And then around outside zone number 2, Travis Reeder's maybe a little further inside, but they're the gaps between both of them pretty similar through there. Looks like Fields got his hands on his car right now. Underneath, you can see that's the rear quarter that got hit by Dean Kearney right after that run. So putting the wheel back on, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think, you know, you check alignment, see if it's out of shape. You know, you're going to need every bit of horsepower and grip. Now, keep in mind, you know, Kearney, he was in the chase position, and so Kearney qualified 26th, Field qualified 10th. So Kearney will be out front. He doesn't want to get, you know, taken advantage of and get pulled on. And we are waiting the outcome. And Matt Field does pull away, so that's a sign that we might revisit the second half of it. Here we look at Travis Reeder in the chase position. One of our judges focusing in on what exactly are we looking at here, Ryan?
Coming off the bank right here, he was concerned that Travis Reeder got straight. And it looks like he definitely got affected by dropping down off of
the impact.
Dropping down off the bank there, the impact. It doesn't look like he went straight, but it was a good catch from him to ask to see that again to verify. All right.
So we'll get Reeder or Hull or one more time, and I believe we'll potentially revisit Kearney and Field. And here we go, slide them. Oh, nowhere. We're waiting for, there is, here we go. Slide him left for Reader or right for Hull. We get one more time, and Travis Reader gets the win. Travis Reader gets the win. Hey, Yule, you can see him just there above, right on the right side of that gantry. Dean Kearney swings across the nose of that Corvette. Dean Kearney puts some more angle into it. Matt Field slides to the door of Carnage. That Viper nose slams down to fire from that side exhaust. And now to that second outside zone. Bringing it all the way through. Again, it feels like years ago that first portion of that battle happened. So it definitely like to watch the runs back to back to see, again, remind us what happened and what transpired on the first run with Matt Field out front, and then now you just saw Dean Kearney out front. Yeah, that thing took quite a hit there on the right-hand side. Looks like more cosmetic than anything. Hyper NFT, invincible, baby. Jacob Grimes, thanks for watching, buddy, out there in Arizona. And here is our side-by-side.
All right, cross your eyes and watch the side-by-side. Looks like right away Matt Field is closer on the same line as Dean in the chase. You can see Dean on the left side in the chase position, a little bit lower, but then matches up at inside clip 1. As they transition here, Dean has a correction in the chase position at inside clip 2, hits it with the front right of his car, while Matt Field is a little smoother through there and hits it with the front right, or sorry, the front left of his car, so just the corner. You can see Dean Kearney had more proximity through outside zone 2 than Matt Field did in his chase run. So it seems like they kind of traded benefits and downfalls in this one. You know, it's a trade-off side to side. So going to be up to us here to figure out who did better and if some of those errors outweighed the others.
Matt Field, Dean Kearney, awaiting the outcome here. 2 muscle cars. And Darren Kelly, the clock is ticking. Like Kevin Will says, took him 15 minutes, got the 10, got the 5, and now they need to button that thing up because he's going to get called here to the start line. Here's the verdict. Here's the outcome. Left for Kearney, right for Field, and it looks like Matt Field gets the win. Matt Field gets the win unanimously. And Lantain, if you would, elaborate on that. I mean, 2 very... Battle of the Great 8. 2 champions, Aasbo and Essa, leaving the start line. Throwing it into that first outside zone. Aasbo sticks to the wall. Aasbo trying to stick it to the door. Yo, right there. Looks like you saw a little bit of attitude of those front ditto tires from Aasbo. Oh, Essa dives in. Second outside zone, wrapping around that second clip. Well done, Aasbo and Essa. Woo! I am just... Man, I'm not going to have a voice by the end of this thing. When we give out the trophies, I'm going to be smoked. Man, that was awesome.
The driving from both of them on this. Watch Aasbo's angle as he initiates, and he doesn't waver from that. He just holds it. And then you've got Essa. Look how close he taps him as he's coming down off of outside zone 1. Incredible proximity. Right there, Essa loses a little bit of angle on the transition, but gets right back on it and close to Aasbo. Could have been a little bit tighter there through the finish, but not bad at all. That was a lot of fun to watch.
None of the inside clips were hit.
Yes.
None of the cones were hit.
None of the cones were sacrificed on that run.
Outside zone, inside clips, all of that.
That level of initiation and maintaining that angle was incredible to see from Aasbo. I thought when he rotated the car, I thought, oh, he's going to have to take some out, but no, he did not. Just maintained it all the way around. So, Michael Essa, your turn.
Yeah, exactly, right. Michael Essa, paging Michael Essa, you're out front. Send it, here we go. Michael Essa, Frederick Aasbo. Essa initiating. Oh, look at Aasbo, aggressive. Dives down, let's see if he can massage it up. Aasbo taking a lower line. Michael Essa staying high. Look at Aasbo. What? Are you kidding me? How is the nose of that car invisible? Are you absolutely insane? How did Aasbo, he's a magician. He was on his right-hand door. He allowed him to pass in front of him and regained composure on his left-hand side. Roll the tape.
Through the smoke. All of that through smoke.
Pull a rabbit out of a hat. Oh my gosh.
So you can see Essa's initiation was okay, but it doesn't compare to what Aasbo did. Now Aasbo's right there on a slightly tighter line, but the proximity is incredible. Watch this transition. And he gets right back on his door immediately after that transition. That is another masterclass by Frederick Aasbo.
But Aasbo being lower than Michael Essa on the bank, is that kind of, does that come into play?
A little bit, but when the proximity is that much higher,
okay.
you know, it's you're trading proximity for the line, so that's almost a wash if you look at less proximity but the same line, you know.
And then that, look at pulling wheel, dude.
Yep.
Going tripod, 3-wheel motion in that Supra. The way he countered.
So the level of difficulty.
I don't think we're going to see a better transition in chase tonight. That was insane.
What comes into play here when voting on this is looking at the level of difficulty, and what Aasbo did from start to finish in the chase position. The level of difficulty is extremely high. Your reaction is testament to that.
Yeah,
and then you've watched his initiation and the run that he put together in the lead. Essa did a phenomenal job himself, but Aasbo just did something incredible there that they're side by side as we watch. So look at Aasbo's initiation, snap the angle. Look at the proximity difference.
Yeah.
Aasbo's definitely right there. You can see that Essa gets it at the end of the zone, but Aasbo had it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Essa also had slightly less angle. You can see that the nose, the kind of corner of his car was pointing at the door as opposed to the car being parallel. So
mimicking the actual angle.
You can see it near the end there. Essa did have a little bit more angle through outside zone 2, but whew, the entirety of that run.
Yes. Well, those guys are at the drive-in movie theater right now. They're parked over there. They got the big screen, and they're watching themselves as the action heroes. I'm out of voice. Aasbo versus Essa, and slide him left for Frederick Aasbo, getting the win. Z of Chris the Force Forsberg. Lights are off, and it's go time. Daniel Stuke will lead. Initiating into the bank. That VR-powered all-new Nissan Z. You can see him pacing Stuke now, coming off the bank into that first inside clip, transitioning now. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just that chase that Aasbo did earlier, so hard to beat. Wasn't as much angle from Stuke, so the opportunity wasn't there. But the proximity, look at, you saw Forsberg grab that wheel and go left as he saw Stuke unwind. So it wasn't the most insane chase job. Stuke, decent lead, didn't have that X factor that we're looking for, but overall just clean, pretty sterile.
Yeah, right from the beginning, you can see Forsberg on the same line as Stuke. Excellent there with good proximity as well. So that's really what we're looking for. You can see right there a little bit of a hesitation from Forsberg on the transition. And you can see Stuke not all the way out wide here on outside zone number 2 until the very end. But Forsberg's right there with him. Good job by Forsberg in the chase position. Stuke definitely missed a couple of things out there, but we'll have to see how Forsberg does now in his lead. He does have a couple of opportunities. He could be higher on zone 1, fill outside zone 2 better, and get to those inside clips.
Whew. All right, here's the second run of this battle. Forsberg will be out front. Stuke pacing him here. The wind dying down just a little bit, which is a good sign. Here we go as Forsberg will lead. Stuke right there next to Forsberg. We'll see how he initiates and drops into formation. Forsberg high on the bank. That NOS energy drink. Nissan Z. Now into that first clip. Stuke in the smoke, goes way on the inside.
That might have been 3 off.
And regardless, Forsberg continues on, and he will be going to the Final Four. Unfortunately for Stuke, going against 3-time champ, new car, coming off a podium in our last round. That's being dealt a tough hand.
Yes, it is. Like to see how many wheels went off there for Stuke in the chase position.
For sure, 3.
All right, so let's watch here. They initiate. You can see Stuke on a lower line through outside zone number 1. Forsberg up high to the infield here. This is where Stuke makes his big mistake. 1, 2. Yeah, that's probably 3 off there for Stuke, so that's going to seal his fate, unfortunately, in the chase position.
Yeah, it's definitely 3. Actually, the front right, I mean, it was almost 4, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. Almost 4 there. It's good to see from the eye in the sky.
Yeah, yep, the truth serum, baby. All right, and yeah, we got the Atlanta final rematch in the Final 4. The Type S Final 4, the Type S Touring Products, the official lighting of Formula Drift. And little stagger. Light them up one more time. Maybe a little intimidation factor there, lighting up the Falcons. NATO's on the corner of Chelsea's vehicle. Let's get thumbs up. Let's send it, boys. Storms are brewing here on track. Let's send it. Come on. Chelsea Denofa, Matt Field. See right here, these guys are chomping at the bit. Denofa initiates Field right there. Working it to the wall. From the windows to the wall. To the doors, Burkett. Look at the angle from Field to the chase, and contact was made.
Looks like damage to Chelsea's car in the right rear, maybe. We'll have to get a camera angle on that.
Yeah, it looked like, again, the transition in front of Matt Field. And, of course, Matt Field gets contact.
Yeah, look at the front left of his car.
Left. So, again, kind of a transition, what we saw earlier with Meyer.
Oh, maybe there is no damage on his car. It looks like he's
got bash
driving
bars.
around just fine. I thought it was the rear wheel, but let's watch the replay here and say exactly what happened. Matt Field dives in real quick on Chelsea at initiation, matching the line up high on outside zone 1 as they come into the infield here. It looks like Matt just gets into the back of Chelsea Denofa. Just gets in a little too aggressively. Watch
Forsberg.
Wow, looks the car's just completely changed.
Transformers. Autobots roll out.
How did they change the wrap so quick? All right, here we go. Field dives in real fast. Gets on the same line as Chelsea here. Looking real strong. And then right here, it looks like Field just gets inside. There is a little red light from Chelsea that comes on there. And just so everybody knows, that light on the windshield is the decel light. So if they decel enough, in a short enough period of time, then it will light the light up. So look at Field right there. So you can see Chelsea. Little blink of the light, and then Matt makes contact right there. So
we are now deducing who is at fault.
Yep. Looks like neither one of them care. Got the line, they're ready to go.
Yeah, so yeah, we want somebody at fault.
But again, well, judging wise, we'll all look at it independently, but we have to make a claim of fault in case the drivers want to be able to touch their cars to assess the damage to them, and then that would tell us who gets to use a competition timeout and who doesn't have to use a competition timeout. But if neither one of them wants to look at their car, then it's sort of irrelevant, really.
Looks like they're clear to send. There we go. You know what? Again, who's at fault at this point? Regardless,
Gladiators.
Gladiators,
They
baby.
just want to battle it out.
It's melee flesh wound. I'll bite your ankles. Here we go. Matt Field out front. Chelsea Denofa in the chase position. Matt Field slingshot out of the gate. Matt initiates, sticks it to the wall. Chelsea Denofa back quite a bit, but this might be strategy-wise. He might know who's at fault. Backs off just a little bit. Now coming into that second inside clip. Matt Field knows. And Chelsea Denofa powers on through.
No way. No way.
Woo. Oh my gosh. Matt the punching bag Field. Chelsea bumper boy.
These two should just get out and fist fight.
Oh boy. Oh. I mean,
Arm wrestle maybe.
Do
That's
it
a little less
do it
aggressive.
for the gram, baby.
Wow, that is.
Make some noise, Orlando.
Field has to crawl out of his door, out the window. I mean, he can't even open the door.
Now, faults will need to be assessed. Matt's pulling his bumper out so he can move the car because he can't open his door. Oh, man, the fans are chanting one more time. Here we go. Let's look at it again.
All right, on initiation, Matt Field is up nice and high. Maybe a little wall tap there. You can see Chelsea getting in nice and close, right in the pocket, in a beautiful position right there. Chelsea a little over rotation at inside clip 1 to avoid contact, but gets back on it right away. Field not filling outside zone number 2. And then right there was just a light touch. It was a really light touch on Field's side skirt there. Let's watch this again. Matt Field, does he get in the wall a little bit? Yes, he does right there. You can see a little adjustment. And then Chelsea starts getting closer and closer. Beautiful job by Chelsea right here. Same angle, same line, great proximity. This is where Chelsea falls off ever so slightly. He's a little too much on the inside before the transition, so he backs off, and that's where he falls off just a little bit. But he transitions the car, gets back to the side of Matt Field, and look at Matt Field as he goes by inside clip 2. He does not fill outside zone 2, and then you can see Chelsea coming in on the right line, and it looks like he just touches the side of Field right around there, and it's enough to push Field.
Yeah, just enough pressure to spin him. And Ryan, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Field was at fault for run 1 from the contact from the back, and now Chelsea at fault for contact in this image that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, because Chelsea does make contact with him right there.
I mean, the attitude of the car does get disrupted. And
wow.
taking a look at what's going on here. Oh, man. Link Engine Management top 8. One more time. What'd you guys say? What do you want to see? One more time.
One more time. Yes,
they're going at it again. These guys, I mean, they're brawlers. Trying to go, bro. Everybody's yelling at me. We're the messenger. Send it! Here we go. Travis Reeder, Dylan Hughes. The zaniest battle you've probably ever seen in Formula Drift history. Travis Reeder initiates into the bank. Dylan Hughes goes up into the wall, pulls up with great angle. No smoke. It's purely mist. Coming up the back end of their vehicles. GT Radio Falcon Tire Splashdown is on. They're jumping in like a high dive into that clipping point 2. Now into outside zone 2. Coming in, look at that splash right there in the crease. The water's collecting there. Travis Reeder barely goes over it. Dylan Hughes in the proximity. Make him feel the love. I mean, inside the cockpit, they don't have any windows. Unreal. Unreal. Ryan, what do you say?
I want to know how these people are keeping their umbrellas from flipping inside out. Wow.
I definitely see a couple that have seen better days, but definitely impressive. Yeah. Ponchos are out, and let's alternate the order.
Yes, let's do that, Jared. It's wow, this weather, the conditions, the drivers are, powering through this despite the wind and rain. They're going from dry to wet to patchy, back to wet, after some dry. It's just wild.
Yeah, so here we go. Dylan Hughes initiates Travis Reeder right there. Look at these guys. I told you they'd be holding hands. Rain or shine, these guys are down for a good time. Dylan Hughes, Travis Reeder. Now coming into splashdown, boom, right into that first inside clipping point. Oh, Travis Reeder looks like he keeps that a little too far long. And Dylan Hughes pulls away. Now he goes into the splash crease. Oh, look at Reeder. He comes back, he fights back. Oh, and he straightens out. And it looks like, wet or not, Dylan Hughes, Reeder spins. Contact, slip and slides.
Lots of contact.
I mean, I feel like this is an episode of Wipeout. Balls are going to go flying or something. I mean, I don't know what other obstacles we can throw at them. The floor is lava. Shout out to my boy Rutledge.
This is something else.
This is something else. Like I said, I thought we saw all the seasons, but And with Reeder spinning out, there was contact throughout the track, but let's look at it again here.
The first contact was right at initiation, right there, a little bump. Hard to see, yeah, see the car parts flying off after initiation.
Wasn't
right
too affected, to be honest, though.
No, they both went for it.
Yeah,
they
didn't
did just
flop.
fine, just fine. You could see Reeder nice and close, making a few mistakes there in the angle side of things. Little bump right there as well, and that caused Reeder to fall back a little bit, and then Reeder's going to struggle to get up, get that proximity back. You can see right there, he does lose quite a bit of angle, and as he comes in here,
so a spin out there. And here we go, Link, ECU, top 8. And Dylan Hughes gets the win, the dozer, the wet dozer. It's go time. There we go. Chelsea Denofa will lead. Let's not hit any cones. Let's get a good start. Here we go. We got an all-wet run. Denofa and Field. Denofa initiates high on the bank. Field, look at that. I mean, they are just magnetized to each other.
oh no.
Oh no, and both of them spin. Don't know if there's contact. I think Denofa might have spun. It might have been Denofa spinning. Yeah, I think Denofa spun and Field saw it happening and maybe just countered and saved it.
Trying to avoid contact.
Yeah,
there.
tried to avoid contact. We'll definitely have to run that back.
We're told there was no contact, so
That's
that
with the
is
naked
not-
eye.
Yeah, but that's we're told there was none, but we'll have a look here and see on the replay if that's accurate or not.
Obviously, no drone. Drone's not going to fly. So there you see Chelsea. Ryan, walk us through. Negatory, good fella. The pattern is clear.
Yeah. Chelsea
so
just
no
looped it.
contact. Chelsea looped it. And hey, great awareness by Matt Field.
Absolutely.
Avoiding contact. You know, and tell you what, great chase job by Matt Field.
Yes, absolutely.
that
Through
was
outside zone 1.
Really well done, given all the elements combined.
He was matching line, he was matching angle, he was in great proximity. Level of difficulty, pretty high on that one.
Okay, now let's alternate the order. Look how far back Chelsea is. Matt on the start line. Who's going to the Final Four? Good pace. You saw that? Chelsea running up. Now he knows he needs to be right. Oh, and he impedes. Ryan, that
was contact.
That was contact.
But if they're both going for it.
But if they're going for it, they're going for it. Matt Field continues through the course. Now coming down into the splash zone. And there we go. Chelsea loops it. So if Matt Field continues on through the course, Matt Field will be getting the win. And it looks like Matt Field keeps his composure. Even after that contact, it looked like Chelsea got his way. And Matt Field unofficially moving on. Again, Chelsea spun in front of him. He spun out. Contact was made. Chelsea impeded. Matt Field continued. And like you said, if he continued, he continues.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was great to see that Matt Field, despite getting impeded by Chelsea there on initiation, just kept going. He initiated the car and didn't let it bother him at all. He's on throttle. He's doing great through outside zone 1 right now. You can see Chelsea dropping down ever so slightly there near the end of outside zone 1. And then as they come down off the bank, they do both. Chelsea spins and Matt Field is going to get the win.
So there you go. Matt Field gets the win in the wets. Absolutely awesome. Thank you guys and gals for sticking around. And here we go. The lights are on. When they extinguish, Aasbo and Forsberg. Hashtag FDORL. And that is a restart. That is a restart. The flags are waved. Finding out the strike. Frederick Aasbo jumped the light in his Supra. Again, Aasbo jumped the light. The winner going to the finals to go against either Matt Field or Dylan Hughes.
Yes, sir.
And Dylan Hughes has won, or no, he podiumed. He's podiumed at an event. I don't know if he's won. He's podiumed in Seattle at Evergreen, but I don't think he's won an event.
Good memory.
So so here we go. Frederick Aasbo leaving the start line, and we got a clean start. Here we go. Frederick Aasbo, the first run of this battle. Forsberg in tow. Aasbo riding the wall. This is like what we just saw from those two American vehicles, and now we're seeing it from the imports of Toyota and Nissan. Aasbo and Forsberg now alternating positions, going to that second inside clip. Good transition for both the drivers. Forsberg doing a good job keeping that pace, keeping that tempo. Oh, coming up a little bit short there, but keeping that proximity is Forsberg. So compromising, getting deep, but getting close, trying to mimic that angle.
That was a great job from Chris Forsberg on the mimic. The transition that he did in the infield there behind Aasbo was beautifully timed. It looked like a shadow of the Supra, the way he transitioned and positioned his car so well. He had his car in all the right places, outside zone 1. Outside zone 2 was really starting off strong, but then he fell off a little bit near the end in terms of being on the right line. But overall, the majority of that track was done very well by both drivers. Aasbo was high on outside zone 1. Forsberg was right there with him, right in the pocket, like beautifully positioned. And then the transition in the infield was just so good.
Yeah, just to clarify, Dylan has never won but podium twice. As Chris Forsberg leaves the line, it's all about Forsberg and Aasbo. And a transition there. Look at Aasbo just barely flirting with that back bumper. So that's what we saw Aasbo do earlier. So lower on the bank, proximity not as high. And we saw him do that against Essa. And look at, there's Aasbo doing his signature move, just barely allowing Forsberg to transition, going that final crease. And Aasbo dropping back. Forsberg riding right on that edge. Aasbo exceeding it just a little bit. So again, our #1 qualifier, Frederick Aasbo, trying to make this a perfect event. He's your #1 qualifier. You know, these guys saw battle in the finals. They have 2 rocket ships and now slowed down considerably. No smoke, but definitely some rooster tails coming off the back.
Yeah, let's look at Aasbo here, coming down off the bank. You can see that he's close here, but as he transitions, this is where he's going to fall off of Chris Forsberg. So he's not going to be able to maintain the proximity that he had earlier throughout the rest of the course. And to be honest, on outside zone 1, Aasbo was pretty low on outside zone 1 in terms of being close on proximity, but didn't really match the line. So let's watch a side-by-side here. Watch where Chris Forsberg is in the chase position. Gets himself positioned really nice in the chase, right in the pocket. Proximity-wise, he's as close as Aasbo is, but he's on the same line as Aasbo. So chase to chase, it looks like Forsberg did a much better job there of mimicking what Aasbo was doing compared to when Aasbo was in the chase. It looked like he was a couple of steps behind Chris Forsberg. So, you know, chase to chase, lead to lead. Forsberg might have an advantage here.
Sliding right for Chris Forsberg gets the win. Forsberg gets the win, and Ryan, I think he did a good job elaborating on what went down. Now, Dylan Hughes, Matt Field. Dylan Hughes is leading, Matt Field's giving chase. Dylan Hughes comes down, we're losing bumpers. Dylan Hughes gives a little twitchy. Matt Field jumps to the side of him. We keep on partying, boys. Dylan Hughes, more angle, and Matt Field spins. Dylan Hughes keeps continuing on. And Dylan Hughes is Aquaman. As again, don't know where his trident is, but well done. Poseidon, yeah, so yeah, that was not a sight. And man, kudos to Dylan Hughes staying in it. Bonk,
Yep.
bonk.
He was totally in his right there to not initiate after Field got in his way at initiation. This is something we talked about in the briefing. We said the chase car needs to give the lead car the right of way at initiation, but we've seen it this round, more and more drivers cheating that a little bit. They keep getting next to the lead driver and hoping they don't drop down on initiation and do a flick But these drivers in the lead are totally allowed to do that. So those chase drivers are impeding on that initiation, and it's 100% Matt Field's fault there, and then he spins out shortly thereafter. So it's what the chase drivers sometimes push a little extra, you know, trying to get that little bit of proximity at initiation, and if they're going to make that move, they have to be ready for the consequences. In this case, Dylan Hughes just initiated and went for it, but Field a little bit later on ended up spinning.
Battered, bruised. Again, Matt Field just takes a licking and keep on ticking. The beast from the Bay out front against the dozer that is King Neptune right now, harnessing the water energy. Matt Field up on the bank. Look at that, still not backing down. I said playing it smart, but still being aggressive. Matt Field now coming down the bank, splashing down into that first interclip. Some brake speed tap. That is a decel zone. That is allowed. That is to be expected. Now into that second inside clip. Matt Field goes into the crease. If Dylan Hughes keeps it settled, the dozer will be going to the finals. And it looks like Dylan Hughes will be getting the win. Matt Field, unofficially, will not be getting a podium for this round. So it looks like Frederick Aasbo, again, unofficially will get third place. Dylan Hughes and Forsberg are in the finals. Again, that's my quick assessment. Don't quote me on that, but knee-jerk reaction. Or wait, are you saying Matt Field gets a win?
No,
hold on.
Did not.
Hold on, buddy.
That was a mistake.
Back that up, okay.
Pushed the wrong button.
It's all right.
People yelling in my ear to put in my
I know.
vote, and I messed it up.
All right, we are tap dancing away. We're singing in the rain, and thank you so much to our staff, hardworking crew, our folks on the start line, our FD staff soaking it up, and there it is. Let's make it official. Dylan the Dozer Hughes gets the win. Dylan Hughes gets the win. Throw down, Dylan Hughes. Chris Forsberg. Dylan Hughes will lead. He outqualified the three-time champ. Will Dylan Hughes get his first ever win in the rain? Chris Forsberg got second in Atlanta. Can he better it here in these very wet conditions? Dylan Hughes initiates on the bank. Good angle from him and his royal purple BMW O'Reilly Auto Parts. As the windshield wipers are wiping, the Rain X is a-working. Now down into that first inner clip. Chris Forsberg chasing him down into that second inner clip. Forsberg keeping the composure. Dylan Hughes, great angle from him. Going to that second outside zone into the crease with Dylan Hughes. Chris Forsberg right there in the highest horsepower, all new Nissan Z, the NOS Energy Z, chasing down the royal purple BMW on Falcon tires. Wow, that was a great run. I mean, speed that up, and that looks like they're in the drive. You know what I mean? Just like put it on fast forward like 2 times, and if you take away the rain, it looked like they were in the drive. Just the proximity, the line, all that. That was
the transition
that was great.
as well. Absolutely, the way they're moving their cars around, the trust they have in their cars, the tires, just the ability they have going into this weather. I don't know if we're going to get a replay on this. I'd love to see one, but look at the gang of people over there under the arch watching.
Yeah. I think everybody's kind of like, give me some popcorn. Just like, I'm watching the show, baby. I'm watching the show. Hey, make some noise for our drivers, our 2 wettest gladiators of them all, making some history. Let's send it for potentially the final time. Is this it? Are we going to get a winner? Chris Forsberg or Dylan Hughes? Chris Forsberg initiates in his NOS energy drink. Nissan Xeno GT Rim. Look at Dylan Hughes, the proximity, the angle from Forsberg. Dylan Hughes chasing him down. You can see that brake light just barely kind of flickering on the wall. Coming down to that first inside clip. Transition. Nice job by Dylan Hughes into the second inside clip. Are we going to go one more time? Oh, Dylan Hughes does take out that inside clip. Chris Forsberg gets in the crease, does exceed it just a little bit. Now coming, bring it along across the finish line. Forsberg or Hughes? What do you guys think? Where are my Chris Forsberg fans at? Make some noise. Where are my Dylan Hughes fans at? Make some noise. Where are my Formula Drift fans? Make some noise.
All right, watching this side-by-side replay. Look at proximity. Look at mimic, look at line. So you see here, Dylan is much closer right off the bat, but you see Forsberg slowly getting it in there. Forsberg's a little bit lower on line in the chase position, but if you look at the transition right here, Forsberg's able to get in a lot tighter right there. Hughes is a little bit further behind, has a bobble there, lack of angle for a slight second, and then their proximity is pretty similar through this part. Forsberg does get closer right at the finish line, but through that outside zone too, pretty similar on proximity. So it's going to come down to who was able to have better proximity throughout the run, because
through the entirety.
Yeah, because both leads were really well done. Both leads were high on the zones, tight to the inside clips, so it's really going to come down to the chase runs, I think.
And it does sound like we have a winner. So we are going straight to the podium. We are going straight to the podium. After this, we're not bringing them down here, even though the drivers are driving down here. Some celebratory Misty Donuts here for you. I don't know.
All right, the drivers.
And the drivers are heading over to the podium. It looks like they're just going to head on over. So your winner at round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship, Type S Scorch, presented by AutoZone. You know, third place, Frederick Aasbo. And your winner, unanimously, here at Orlando Speed World, is Dylan Hughes. Dylan Hughes gets the win. Chris Forsberg gets second. Frederick Aasbo gets third. Dylan Hughes gets his first ever win in the wildest conditions you have ever seen. Slide him right for the Royal Purple. Of course, he's sponsored by Rain-X. He is Neptune. Congratulations, his first ever win in that 2JZ powered BMW. Chris Forsberg, second place again, 2 events in a row, shaking things up. Aasbo's just not running away with it. Field up in the mix. Ryan Lantain, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, that was one for the books. Just the level of difference in all of these battles, the conditions on the track, what these drivers have had to contend with tonight. Dry,
wow.
Pouring wet, spotty, dry again, wet again. This has been a wild one.
An amazing time. Thank you to the cameramen. Thank you to the staff. Thank you, of course, to the fans, the sponsors. Thank you to Ryan Lantain, Brian Egger, Chris Yule, Sean Adriano, Pat Gentile, Ryan Sage, of course, Ryan Sage. Thank you so much. Love you, man. Thank you for everything. This has been the wildest event we've ever had in our 18-plus years of Formula Drift. And it all is because of you, the hardcore fans, and the hardcore drivers that made this happen. The staff, the crew, an amazing day, an amazing weekend. It started Thursday, and of course, we have an awesome time. Congratulations. Aasbo in third, Chris Forsberg with second, and Dylan Hughes in third. There's Dylan Hughes. Soaked. We'll see you at the podium. And let's give out some trophies as Lorette Nickel. Lorette, you're down there with Dylan.
I'm right here.
Let's go down to Lorette.
Well, you guys,
Andy,
the
get out of the
rain
way.
is falling. So are the tears. Dylan Hughes, so emotional, so excited. You have been working for this moment for so long. Dylan Hughes, how do you put into words what this moment means to you?
Oh man, it's been a long time coming. Worked for Chris for a very long time, and even to go to the finals with such a legend like him is totally sick. And the fact that they thought that we got it was just unbelievable. I can't even believe it. There was like a weird, strange, calm moment on the bank when I was following him, and I was just like, oh, all right, like this is cool. Like no worries, right? I can't believe it.
We are so excited for you, Dylan. Congratulations. This seemed like this was just your event. And with the rain, with this weather, with these delays, Were you able to keep a cool head, or were you battling against something we didn't see?
I felt like I was just ready to do it. Like when they pulled us off the line with Travis, like I feel like I was just ready to go. Like, let's just do it, right? The wind's picking up, like let's just get it over with. And then the rain came down. Travis and I ran on completely dry setups, which is like totally unheard of. Felt pretty crazy, and we ended up getting that one, which was cool. And then we put our quickest wet setup we could in this thing, just try and get this thing done and over with. But unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of round number 3 in Orlando, Dylan Hughes.
Yo. You know what? You can't see he's crying because he's absolutely soaked. The tears from the sky are Dylan's tears because he's worked so hard. The Momo suit is soaked. Rain X, that thing's treated with it. Royal Purple, O'Reilly Auto Parts, the emotions are flooding. The Falcon Tire vehicle, he's hyped for his man Chris Forsberg as well. Now the championship points, Aasbo holds on to the championship lead. Forsberg slides into second, Matt Field slides into third. Ryan, your words. Let's go give out some trophies. Let's get dry.
Yeah, let's just get over there, get everybody out of the rain. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight and enduring all this weather, and we will see you in New Jersey.
The Lightning, one more strike. Thank you again so much. What a wild night it's been. Thank you so much to all the drivers, the staff, the crew, the whole team, of course the cameramen, audio. I mean, so many people to thank. You know who you are. And of course, thank you to the fans. As Ryan said, we'll see you online and we'll see you another time. Way to send it here in Orlando. That's a wrap on Type S Scorched, presented by AutoZone. I'm Jared Deenda. We'll see you in New Jersey.